My name is Bowen Yang. I play Ray, the moderator at Romancing the Page, the Los Angeles romance novelist convention. And he's a bit of a smarmy character who has some familiarity with Loretta and Dash. That's it. That's Ray. I don't know the Nee brothers. I mean, they seem to know all of my colleagues and associates. They're pretty entrenched in LA with a lot of the comedy people there. And so it was lovely to just meet them and just feel like it was a very natural sort of acquaintanceship turned into a friendship, turned into a professional relationship where I was taking direction from them. They're wonderful. Patti and I both came up doing comedy together in Brooklyn, in New York, when she was out there. I've been a New Yorker for all my adult life. And so it's just nice to see Patti as a familiar face, but also just a close friend. And she is so funny and is so like ingrained into like the whole culture of the movie. And like, it's, you know, it feels like I'm coming into like summer camp and she's like one of the hot camp counselors or something. She's fantastic. And so, yeah, I knew her going into this. I knew she was involved. And so that made it very easy for me to say, yes, I'll do whatever you want me to for Aaron and Adam. And so it's been really nice. My character is there to sort of push her buttons a little bit, sort of fawn over Dash as everyone else does at the convention. And I'm sort of unearthing and excavating a lot of stuff that Loretta hasn't had to think about because she's been sort of holed up in her wonderful house writing this book. And I'm there to sort of contextualize how she is maybe having a difficult time getting back out there with the whole book tour of it all. And so it's great. I had seen a couple drafts of the script where the character was probably just kind of there as glorified set dressing. But then Aaron and Adam really tried to give me a gift with this role and just try to make it my own. And so they kind of struck that perfect balance between letting me have fun with it, giving me room to play, but also coming up to me and feeding me stuff that is funnier than anything I could come up with. So it was a really nice sort of middle ground of just making me feel safe and taken care of, but also giving me some liberty to like have fun and just make the scene very silly. And to have Sandra and Channing there as scene partners was just so wonderful and so great because they were just so generous and they were just with me and with it the whole time. Well, it seems that Ray has probably moderated some conversations like this before with both Dash and Loretta. They seem to know him. And I introduced Loretta after they play this really thrilling sizzle reel for the book, this trailer for the book. Heavily features Dash. And the audience gets really amped to see him. I introduced Loretta first. There's a tepid response from the audience, even though she's the author of these 20 plus books. And then I, of course, bring Dash out. And then to much fanfare, everybody's very excited to see him. And Ray, my character, is trying to craft questions that facilitate some nice, nuanced response from Loretta, but Dash kind of, you know, steamrolls and takes the reins and answers on her behalf in a way that would seem generous. He thinks he's doing her a favor by like just kind of taking point on answering these questions, but she kind of feels stepped on a little bit. And so that kind of sets up this tension between the two characters that is explored very, very well for the rest of the film. So it's neat. 100% this is a movie I would see. I read the script and I was like, oh, this is like a big studio film, like decently budgeted comedy. I'm like, you know, those things don't really get made anymore. As a comedy fan, as a comedy writer, as a comedy actor, this is stuff that I grew up watching. And I even told Sandy, I was like, you know, I don't usually say this to people, but people like her, I said, but you know, these films were so formative for me. And this is just a really great sort of revisiting of that genre for me. And I can't believe I'm on the other side of the lens for this. It's great.